A letter from love itself to the homeless one. I've been wanting to write for you for a long while. I have much to say about you. About you, dear father. About you, dear mother. Dear daughter, dear son. I know your story. I know well the beauty you carry in your eyes. The work of your hands. The care you've shown that was not received. The times people were all too generous with all but what you needed. I know your heart. You are not contagious. You are not repulsive. You are not hard of heart. You are not hopeless. You are the one I trust with this journey, to walk as the disciples walked, leaving everything behind. You have joined the ranks of some of the most joyous, patient, enduring humans I've come to know. You are always welcome at my table. I'm with you. In the cold, in the crowds, in the moonlight, tears, hunger, and quiet. I am the constant in the constant change, and I love to love you. I don't have pity. I have nowhere else I'd rather be. I know it's cliche and you hear it a lot, but I am your home. And if you truly have faith in that, you'll find that is truer than the truth you've been told, the tales of the streets. Sincerely, love. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Perspectives Podcast. This is Chase. Hope everything's been going well so far in 2024. Crazy to think it's already May in this year. Seems to happen every year that it just goes by faster and faster. But we want to take a quick minute just to share that poem that our group wrote to be included and to support this book that recently got published and that's going to be released. Actually, this podcast is coming out on release day, and it's volume 1 of Letters from Love Itself. For those who follow my personal page, you may have seen that I am kind of the person who's been leading the charge behind it, and the Lord just gave me the vision to create this book and just this project and this thing that I still don't exactly know what it's going to turn into, but yeah, we wanted to just kind of share about the book, share about this poem a little bit with y'all. And if y'all want to, from this, go follow the Writing Collective page, go pre-order, or I guess at this point, order a copy of the book and support it in any way. Send in your own letter from love itself. Yeah, this is your invitation to do that. We'd love for that to happen. And we're excited because there's going to be another couple podcasts we'll be recording and releasing over the coming months that just highlights these different things that's going on in Josue and I's life and in just our team's life. Obviously, as we announced back in October, the pace and the frequency and the goal of this podcast, the aim of it has just changed a little bit from going to pursuing consistency to just releasing episodes as the Spirit leads and as opportunities naturally come up, and honoring all these other parts of our life, and really just making sure that we never got to the point where we were forcing episodes out that weren't valuable and that weren't something that the Lord was moving our hearts to create. And so in it, I think we've seen a bunch of fruit from that in our personal lives. As y'all know, Josue got married in the fall of last year, coming up on, I think, 9 months now that they've been married, which is so much fun. And then I knew that I was going to have the launch of this writing project coming up. And so we wanted to honor y'all as listeners and friends to not just throw out trash. So we hope it's been something that, though y'all aren't getting the same amount of episodes as in the past, that y'all saw in the Jalen conversation, just the refreshment that me and Josue have in this. But so to introduce the project, the writing collective, Letters from Love Itself, and then after that share a little bit about the poem. So kind of the story behind the writing collective is summer of 2022. I was processing a breakup that I went through earlier in the year. And the Lord had told me be intentional about the breakup rather than just sweep it under the rug, kind of like we can tend to do easily. And as I was in my daily time with the Lord processing this, the Lord brought this question to mind of if love itself were to write me a letter about me processing this breakup, what would it have to say? And there were 2 lines that came to me immediately, which were, "Thank you for contending. You owed me no more than that, for it was your gift to me that I simply exist." And in it, basically, the Lord telling me through the personification of love that I didn't owe him success. I didn't owe him this relationship working out. I just owed him taking a step of faith, taking a risk, and letting love exist within the context of that relationship for however long or however short it was going to be. And it was something that was so encouraging for me and so transformative because I'd never realized up until that point how much success was driving my self-perceived identity and how pleased I thought the Father was of me and things like that. And so over the rest of that time, I received and wrote the rest of that letter, which you can see on the Instagram page for the Writing Collective, which is at Sincerely Love Itself. That username is down in the description below, and also in the book. But after I wrote that, I felt the fear of the Lord on that piece more than anything I had ever written before. And as y'all probably see on the podcast, that was around the time that I started releasing some of my writings on here, just to vary up the episodes a little bit. And so I sat on that piece and just this prompt for about 4 to 6 months, and then eventually started to share it with some close friends, one of them being Jalen, who we had on our last episode. And a few weeks after that, Jalen shared, "Hey man, I had this dream that I want to submit for you to kind of think on." And he saw me standing there with a bucket full of arrows next to me with hearts on them, and I was shooting them off into the world, and then the world was sending them back. And I was like, "Huh, okay." I'll sit on that and I'll think on that. But the cool thing was that he didn't know is the Lord was already kind of giving me this like vision for turning this into a group project of sorts. And I didn't really know what it was going to look like or anything. But what it turned into was I invited around 40 friends last year to sit with the Lord and go through the same process that I did of asking the question, if love itself were to write them a letter about a role or a situation that they have in life, what would it have to say? And so a letter from love itself to a new mother, to the one surviving cancer, to the one who's waiting, anything that's pertinent to their life. And then what we did from there, I gave them a number of months to write it. And then in November of last year, we released all our writings on Instagram and invited the rest of the world to co-create with us, to send in their own letters, share their own, submit their own, to be posted on the page, but also to be added into consideration, to be included in the book that we were releasing this year. And so we got probably, I think it ended up being a little bit over 100 submissions from just random people around the world. A good amount of them were friends, but so many from people we just didn't even know, from Kenya, from England, from Japan, from Portugal, Brazil, all over the place. And it was really surreal, and it's a beautiful thing. And so we included 40 of those letters in volume 1, and that is what is releasing this today. And so it's been a process. For me, as the one who's, who the Lord gave the vision to and who invited all these friends into it, I was the one kind of behind the scenes getting the whole publishing process together. We worked and partnered with Bosa and Chris and Jeannie with Skillhouse for all the design work, and they did such an amazing job. And so if you need any design work at any point, reach out to them. Maybe our next episode is with Bosa talking about that, but you can kind of see from the next episode. And so it's been a fun process. It's been a huge learning process. And I'm excited that this book is, as of the release of this podcast, officially released. Just ready to see kind of what happens in life next, and moving on to, the app for here at Perspectives that we've been working on for 4 years, to where that is still very much a thing and going to be released later this year. And so hopefully some news on that will be coming up soon as things kind of settle down from the book. But yeah, for the Writing Collective from here on out, we're going to be doing yearly volumes of it. We're going to be doing kind of the same cycle with some things added to it, where I'm inviting, a group of 40 friends that the Spirit puts on my heart, to write. Me, myself, write on that prompt as well. And then us post them around October, November. Give the world an intentional month to sit with the Lord and receive and write a letter, send it in to us for us to include it in the book and publish another one next year. And so there's some other dreams that we have down the road that kind of relate to some of the values and the mission here at Perspectives, but we'll see as those things take form. But regarding this specific poem, A Letter from Love Itself to the Homeless One, obviously a lot of the inspiration of it, our mission here at Perspectives is to provide travel, culture, and service opportunities for people to grow their perspective and grow their relationship with the Father through those. And one of the big things that's been a consistent effort and initiative of the last 4 years, ever since COVID, is homeless outreach. With our partners Deep Love in Fort Worth, our work down in Houston, work with It's Bigger Than Us over in LA, kind of all over the place. And so as our team was praying into, writing a letter to, support the social campaign for the Writing Collective release, and friends just wanting to support me and us in that, the one about writing, what would love have to say if it was writing to a homeless person, was the thing that just kept resonating with us. And so it was a fun writing process. It came really quick, but there's so many. One of the things that it felt like the Lord wanted us to address was just like these misconceptions that people have that people who host outreaches have of homeless people, but as well people who happen to be homeless right now have of themselves, of saying, oh, they're not beautiful, they're not welcome, no one sees my actions, no one sees the actual level of patience that I have to have. And Love wanted to acknowledge that and address that. And I'm hoping at some point during our outreaches to be able to show this letter to some of the people on the streets, to encourage them and show them that, we're not here with the same misconceptions that everyone has of you. We believe in you. We know the Lord loves you, and He does love you. And one of the things that was kind of impactful from the very start of it is something that our dear brother Raul says every outreach in Fort Worth is, to the volunteers and the serve team, let's be patient today, and you have something to learn regarding patience from the people who are receiving assistance today, because they have a level of patience that you will never need. You're going to be able to get food from a microwave. You're going to be able to get these things relatively quick, to where they have to be in lines of tens or hundreds to be able to get everyday things a lot of the time. And so a challenge to us to be more patient, more kind, to be more understanding, to take a genuine interest in them. And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to get to is, this has been a big passage and verse for me over the last several years, but it was key within this. That's kind of concluding point here, but it's Philippians 2, 19 and 20. And it says, I hope in the Lord Jesus Christ to send Timothy to you, the Philippians, soon, so that I too may be cheered by the news of you. For I have no one like him who will be genuinely concerned for your welfare. For all the rest seek their own interest, not those of Jesus Christ. But you know Timothy's proven worth, how as a son with a father he has served with me in the gospel. The thing that stood out to Paul about Timothy was not his wisdom, was not his spiritual gifts, was not even some sort of outward maturity, but that he took a genuine care and interest in the believers and in the people that he was around. That's so simple, y'all. Like, we complicate things so much and make all these side things the main things, where what would often please the Father the most in outreaches and conversations with friends as we live our life is taking a genuine interest in the people who are around us, who the Lord is highlighting to us, and just asking him questions about their life. Not faking interest, not being self-serious or self-important, but putting them ahead of us and caring for them well. And so that was a big theme within this letter. And we hope that it's something that's encouraging to you, that it's all the things, convicting, thought-provoking, encouraging, and equipping for you the next time that you go out and kind of serve people. So yeah, kind of from here, like we said, if you want to go support the Writing Collective page, it's at Sincerely Love Itself. You can go find it down in the description box below or in my bio on Instagram. And if you want to send in a letter to be included in volume 2 or be posted on the page, it can be anonymous or you could be tagged in it. Just reach out to us, reach out to the Writing Collective page, and we'd love to have that be the case. And if you want to order a copy of the book, it's available on Amazon, and the link for that is in the bio for Sincerely Love Itself in the Writing Collective page. So yeah, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll have another episode coming up here soon with Bosa, and it was a great conversation that we recorded about 2 weeks ago. And yeah, y'all. Until next time, much love. God bless.